If you're self-publishing a book and you're looking for a literal to-do list on everything that you need to do when you're self-publishing, then you've come to the right place. At this point in my author career, I've created a pretty big backlog of books, and in the process of publishing all those books, I've created a process for myself during self-publishing and used that process to create a to-do list for myself and now also for you guys as well. Today, we're doing a broad overview of all the things that are going to be on your self-publishing to-do list and creating the ultimate guide to self-publishing. And we're really just doing the broad spectrum of things. So obviously, this is not going to be a 5, 10, 20-hour video because that's how long it would take to cover everything. But we're talking about all the important stuff, and I'll give you references to where to go to get more info. Hello everyone, my name is Mandy. I'm an author, the creator of the Book Launch Planner series, and I also make courses on cover design and book formatting. If you want weekly videos on the business of being an author, then make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification icon so you never miss a new upload. You can also join as a YouTube member to get early access to videos as well as behind the scenes content. So, like I already mentioned, today we're talking about the book launching process specifically, so like all the nitty-gritty details of self-publishing a book. We're not talking about editing and writing the book, we're not talking about designing the book cover, and we're not talking about formatting the book. Those are all very big other topics. We're going to assume that your book is already edited and written, we're going to assume that the book cover design is already done, and that the book is formatting, and all the other steps that are besides those big giant steps are what we're talking about today. And all the steps I talk about are steps that I referenced from my book launch planner. My book launch planner is a planner I designed myself for writers like you. This planner has countless pages of templates and checklists that you will need to reference during the publishing process. And specifically today, I'm referencing the publishing to-do list that's on page 26 of the planner. And I will probably also reference other pages of the planner as we go, but that's just to give you an idea of where all this info is coming from. And like I said, I can't cover any topics in depth today. Otherwise, we'd be here for many, many hours. But if I mention something and you want to learn more about it, odds are I probably have another YouTube video on it. So I'll be referencing a lot of other YouTube videos during this video. I also have a beginner's guide to self-publishing a book playlist here on YouTube. All this information is free. Feel free to devour it as much as you'd like. And then I also want to mention another resource, which is the Marketing for Authors book series. This is a book series co-written by myself and Bethany Etizeta, and we have 5 books in the series. Each book covers a different topic in the marketing world of books. And each of those books has tons of additional information, so if you want to learn more, be sure to check out that series. It'll be linked below. Everything I talk about today will be linked below. With that said, let's just launch into it. First things first, market research. Market research is something that you ideally should be doing before you even start writing the book. But if you don't get around to market research until after the book's already written, then whatever, better late than never. Basically, market research is going to tell you where your ideal reader is, where they are on social media, what their interests are, and what the best way to reach them is. You also want to know what their expectations are in terms of what they expect the cover to look like, how the blurb should read, and how the book itself should read. This is why it's important to do market research before you write the book, because you may think you're writing a rom-com, but maybe the ideal reader for your rom-com isn't always the best match for the book that you're writing. The big takeaway for market research is to know what type of marketing works best for the ideal reader that you're looking for. And if you've never heard of the term ideal reader before, basically it's the person that reads your book, gives it 5 stars, and becomes a super fan of yours. Those are the type of people you are trying to market to. My book launch planner actually has an ideal reader template inside the planner that you fill out to figure out who your ideal reader is. And there's also many other templates that you can fill out. Some of them include like like templates on how to pitch your book, templates on comp titles, which is comparative titles. That's a great tool for marketing as well. The next thing on your to-do list is going to be to choose a release date. Choosing a release date can be actually pretty difficult, but the big thing you want to keep in mind is that you want to give yourself enough time to thoroughly proofread the book. Like I said, I'm assuming you've already edited it, but we also need to keep proofreading in mind because proofreading can sometimes be a long process. For my last release, I actually did something very different from what I normally do. I had my book finished being proofread about 3 months before the book itself actually released. This has to do with the fact that I also had the book on Kickstarter, so the timeline and the things were different just because of Kickstarter, but it was definitely very helpful to have the book completely done months before the book was published. That way the months leading up to publication, I could actually focus on the marketing rather than prepping the book itself. You don't have to do things that way, but I did find it very helpful for myself. Next up, we have revealing the book title and the cover. Now, this is a very exciting day when you reveal the title and you reveal the cover. You can reveal them separately. You can reveal them at the same time. It depends on what type of marketing you plan on doing, and I've done this differently for every single book I've released. I will say if you plan on doing like a regular old book release and you plan on doing pre-orders, make sure to wait to reveal the book cover until you have your pre-order link ready. This is because the day you reveal your book cover is a very exciting day and you want to take advantage of that excitement by having that pre-order link ready to go. If you want a checklist for doing a cover reveal, like a really big, exciting cover reveal, I actually have one in my book launch planner, and it's on page 78 of the planner. Another thing you want to do is to create a budget. Ideally, you create your budget long before you start hiring people like editors and cover designers and book formatters, so keep that in mind. But you do want to create a budget so you can be realistic about how much you're going to need to spend. And the big things you are going to be spending money on are your book editor, your book cover designer, and your book formatter. Now, some of these things you can do as DIY, but if you're a beginner author, it's definitely best to hire out, and the more experienced you are, the more confident you can be in doing those things yourself. And at the end of the day, just be really realistic about what you can actually afford. Freelancers for this type of job come in all different sizes of budgets, so odds are you can find someone within your budget, but do be mindful that typically the more you spend, the more experienced someone is going to be. And on that same note, you'll also want to track your expenses. So you already made the budget, but now you also want to track what you actually end up spending. You can either do that in just a simple digital spreadsheet, or what I like to use is page 60 of my book launch planner. There's actually a paper spreadsheet that you can fill out as you start spending money on things. So there's a column to write down how much you think you'll spend, and then a column to write down how much you actually do end up spending. Because if you don't track these things, you can start spending thousands of dollars without realizing it. I say that from experience. Next up, you want to choose your distribution, and this is a loaded question. I have many YouTube videos on this channel talking about different options for distribution, but I will point you to 2 different YouTube videos that I will recommend. I have one YouTube video on talking about the best distribution for paperback books, where I compare side by side all the different print-on-demand companies for paperback books, and then I have another YouTube video comparing the distribution options for ebooks. So both of those videos will be linked down below so you can figure out what you want to do distribution-wise. Another thing you need to figure out is getting an ISBN. All books need ISBNs. They need to be listed on the copyright page of your book, and you can get free ISBNs through whatever print-on-demand company you use, or you can purchase ISBNs. Now that is a whole topic within itself. So again, I have a separate YouTube video where I talk about free versus paid ISBNs, why you might want to choose one over the other, and where you can get your ISBNs. So that video will be linked down below. And then you'll also want to choose what format you want your book to be in. So there's 4 main formats that are options for self-published authors. We have ebook, we have paperback, we have hardcover, and we have audiobook. Audiobook is probably the least common for self-published books, but just because hiring a narrator is super, super expensive, and being your own narrator is super, super hard. So that's the least common, but obviously the easiest is probably ebook, then we have paperback, and then some authors also choose to do hardcovers of their book as well. There's countless options for all of them. When you first publish your book, you may choose to only publish it as an ebook, and then later down the line, publish it as a hardcover or a paperback, and that's awesome. Just be mindful of what you want to do for your release right off the bat, and you can figure out the rest later. Another thing on your to-do list is going to be to file for copyright. So again, this is another one of those really big topics, and I hate to point you to another YouTube video, but I'm going to. I have 2 separate videos on copyright. I have one video that just talks about what should go on the copyright page of your book, and then I have another video that talks about how to actually file for copyright. This is for if you're in the United States. If you're not in the United States, I don't know how it works. But I will leave those 2 video tutorials linked down below. And then another thing we need to talk about that we kind of referenced earlier is doing pre-orders for your book. So you don't have to do pre-orders for your book, but some authors choose to. There's a lot of pros and cons to doing pre-orders versus not doing pre-orders. I actually have a whole section in Plan a Profitable Book Launch where I talk about pre-orders and whether or not you should do them and why you would choose not to do them, and if you do them, like what's the best way to do them. So that's in Plan a Profitable Book Launch. That's one of the books in the Marketing for Authors series that I was talking about earlier, and I will have that book linked down below. But when it comes to pre-orders, if you choose to do pre-orders, you also will need to choose to do if it's just going to be ebook pre-orders or paperback pre-orders, hardcover pre-orders. Some companies allow you to do print pre-orders and some companies don't. Most companies will allow you to do ebook pre-orders. Those are pretty simple, but the print pre-orders get pretty complicated. I have a couple videos on YouTube talking about print pre-orders and all the nightmares I've had with them. So I personally don't do print pre-orders anymore. I find it's not worth the headache and stress, and I only do ebook pre-orders. And you can also do pre-order campaigns, which is when you like do something to incentivize people to pre-order your book. So say like if you pre-order my book, then you can fill out this Google form, and when you fill out this Google form showing proof that you pre-ordered the book, then you will get a sticker mailed to you, something like that, to incentivize people to pre-order. Again, this is something that's covered in Plan a Profitable Book Launch because this is a pretty in-depth topic when it comes to launching a book. Another thing you're going to want to do is to list your book on Goodreads. And ideally, this is something you want to do sooner rather than later. And the reason why I say that is because if you don't add your book onto Goodreads, random readers will add your book onto Goodreads. And you may think that random readers won't do that, but they will. And when they add your book onto Goodreads, you need to be able to claim the book. And sometimes multiple people add the book onto Goodreads, so now you have multiple listings of the book on Goodreads. And when that happens, you have to work with the Goodreads librarian group to merge the listings, or they might put the wrong book cover, or they might put the wrong information. There's just a lot of complications that happen if you kind of delay making your book on Goodreads. So put your book on Goodreads sooner rather than later, because it's kind of a pain to fix if other people put your book on Goodreads for you. Next up, you need to decide on the price of your book. And trust me when I say it's not that complicated. When it comes to picking out the price of your book, what I want you to do is find a comp title, aka a book that's in your genre and it's kind of very comparable to your own book, hence why it's called a comp title, and you go and you see how much that book is listed for. And if that book is listed for $14.99, see what happens when you list your book at $14.99. Do you feel like you're making enough profit? At the end of the day, don't be afraid to price yourself fairly. aka make sure you're not just breaking even on each book sale, make sure that you're actually making a profit. Typically, indie authors will make anywhere from $1 to $3 per book sale. Another thing you're going to want to do is to build your email list. Now, your email list, you should be building that long before the release of your book, but when you have a book release, there's just extra excitement and extra reason to build your email list. And one of my favorite ways to build my email list is I like to offer the first chapter of the new book for free. Basically, that means if someone wants to read the first chapter of my book for free, all they have to do is sign up for my newsletter. Now, how do you technically go about that? I personally use BookFunnel. I actually have a tutorial here on YouTube telling you how to use BookFunnel to create reader funnels. And reader funnel is just a name for collecting email addresses of readers and adding them to your newsletter. And I think BookFunnel is one of the easiest tools to do that, where they sign up through BookFunnel and then they get the book emailed to them and they can choose how to access the preview of the book. Again, the tutorial for that will be linked down below. The next thing I want to talk about is creating a plan for your ARCs. Now, ARCs are advanced reader copies. This is copies of the book that you send out long before release day, where readers read it and they review it and they talk about it and they create hype about the book before the book itself even releases. There's many different ways you can handle advanced reader copies. You can do it all yourself manually using just a Google form. I've done that before. It's a lot of effort, but if you want to save money, that's probably the easiest way to do it. You can use other websites to send out advanced reader copies. You can actually send out advanced reader copies using BookFunnel, but when you use BookFunnel, you still need to find the people to read your book yourself. One of my favorites to use is actually NetGalley, because NetGalley gets you access to all new readers, whereas all the other avenues that I've talked about, those readers you have to find yourself, whether that be through social media, your newsletter, wherever you can find people interested in reading your book for free and promoting it online. I actually really prefer NetGalley because it gets me out of my circle of people and gets my book into hands of readers who have never heard of me before. Now, I most recently worked with NetGalley through a co-op called Victory Editing, and I had an extremely positive experience, and I'm actually an affiliate for them now. So if you do choose to work with NetGalley and you want to use a co-op, make sure to use Victory Editing and use my link down below and mention me, Mandi Lynn, when you check out and say that's how you heard of them. I have a full video on my experience with NetGalley. I'll leave that link down below so you can learn more about it before you kind of opt into it. Now, if you do choose to do advanced reader copies manually yourself using something like a Google form, don't worry. I have a checklist for that. It's actually in my book launch planner because this is the kind of default way I used to do advanced reader copies. The checklist for advanced reader copies is on page 92 of my book launch planner, and I also show an example of a form that you can create in Google to make the process a little easier. And the last thing we'll talk about today is your release day. Now, you may think that, you did all the work leading up to release day, that on release day you can do nothing, but unfortunately that's not the case. Release days can also be very busy because you got to update a lot of things. You got to post on social media, you got to update your newsletter, you got to update a lot of links and post everywhere. And I actually have a release day to-do list in my book launch planner. That to-do list is on page 116 of my book launch planner if you want to check it out. But there's a lot of just little admin, boring things that you have to do on release day just to get the most bang out of your buck. Because like I said, I've talked about a lot of things today, and in my opinion, all these things are mandatory, but truthfully, no one's gonna make you do them, and you can skip these things, but to have a most successful book launch, I believe that you need to do all these things. If you want access to all the templates and checklists and to-do lists that I talked about today, make sure to check out my book launch planner. That will be linked down below. And if you want to learn even more about self-publishing here on YouTube, again, I have that Beginner's Guide to Self-Publishing a Book playlist. That'll be linked. There's a lot of videos on that playlist, so make sure to check it out, comb through the information, and I hope I explain everything in a very thorough, understanding way. Otherwise, that is it for this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching.